Hey everybody, Lance Lush here. I want to do this quickie insert to show you exactly what happens when you're not paying attention. Now right now, the cable guy was upstairs doing an install, but my internet goes down, right? So I meant to come back and check it, forgot, and here's what happened. What a mess. Now, me being a good cook should known better. You gotta watch stuff like this for boil over. And that's my Lush tip for you. Be attentive and pay attention. Now we're going to our next step here. We're getting close for the first fermentation process, So stay tuned, because that's coming up real soon. Well, Lush fans, we're back. It's been about 45 minutes or so. Now it says here, 15 minutes for the end of the 45-minute boil, had flavor hops and Irish moss, Whirlflock tablet in the boiling wort. So, it doesn't tell me. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to put the flavor hops in. Let's see here. And it's sealed, as Pat the NES Punk would say. So we're going to do that. We'll add the flavor hops in. And it says add the tablet. There we go. Add the tablet. Maybe. Go. Now it says here I got to go another 15-minute boil. We're going to do that. It's actually getting close. So I'm going to do that. Go another 15 minutes or so. We'll go from there. And we'll be into our very final step. And just stay tuned for that part. Hey everybody, Lance Lush is back. I got it down to 110, 115 degrees. Actually, I got it to like 108 degrees because I was in the middle of doing a message. So I apologize for that. Now, the next step in the process is pour or siphon the wort from boiling kettle in the primary fermenter. And it says attempt to leave most of the hop residue and any proteins behind called the turb. Add enough cold water, refrigerate with no chlorine to the wort to bring the volume up to 5 gallons. So here's what I'm going to do. Number one, I got to pour it in this. This is the primary fermenter. Now, I wanted to show you that so exactly what it is. And being a home brewer, and you're going to watch this video, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I know some people can use actual stuff like this. They use modified coolers. I just wanted to do it right from the beginning. So what I'm going to do is, man, this thing is heavy. I'm going to pour this in here. Now, I'm not seeing any residue. I'm not sure that's a good thing or a bad thing. But there it is. Now I see the sediment. Put you there for a moment. Now it says here, add enough cold water to bring the volume up to 5 gallons. And that's not it. Where is my gallon of water? And I just had it. No, Lush fans, we got so much stuff going on. There it is. You can't find stuff. Sometimes that just happened. And this was refrigerated for a while. I pulled it out about 25 minutes ago. So it's still nice and chilled. So we're going to pour this in to get up to 5 gallons. Alright, so that's done. Now it says next order of business, bring it to 60 to 75 degrees. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pick this up and put this back in the sink for a moment. And I'm pretty sure that's close enough to 5 gallons for me. So one of those ones to where you got evaporation, things like that. That's going to happen, Maybe I should have bought an extra one just in case, but that's okay. I'm going to chuck this back in. Silly thermometer. And I got to see if it gets down around 75. What did it say? Let's see here. 60 to 75 degrees. So I figure right around 70 or so. We'll go right back into the next step. And this is probably the first, second, third most important step I'll do in this particular process, even though it is the most important step. So stay tuned. We're getting to that because we're getting ready to start fermenting. So stay tuned. I'm going to show you exactly what I'm going to do as far as that. Hey everybody, it's Lance the Lush back once again, and we're into the final leg of this first home brewing journey. Now, Lush fans, it is 9 o'clock. Now, I had to chill the work down. Now, my tiny laboratory hampered me a lot. That means I had to put it in the sink. If I didn't have any ice, I had to run water over the bucket, which meant it took forever. And it finally got to 75 degrees. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take the thermometer out to verify it is 75 degrees, which it is. I'm going to take this out. Now, according to the instructions, it tells me, check temperature if necessary, place a fermenter into the sink of cold water, okay. Add yeast using liquid, okay. Liquid yeast should prop the incubate started yeast starter ready. If dry yeast is used, rehydrate according to manufacturing instructions from the top. Check started Pacific gravity with hydrometer. So, what I got to do is, I got to get this on the floor. Oh, man, this thing is freaking heavy. You know, Lush fans, 5 gallons don't seem like a lot, but it's really a lot if you don't know what you're doing or how much it is. You know, so it says check with a hydrometer first. So here's what I'm going to do. I am going to pull and I know I shouldn't be doing this, but I'm going to pull a shot glass and test. Well, that's not enough. And test to see how much is in here. Put a little bit more in here just to see. Yes, Lush fans, I know I shouldn't be doing it this way, but that's okay. Now, my trusty hydrometer, as soon as I figure out what in the world I did with it, okay, I put it back into plastic. We're going to see what this says. Now, it says that it's right at, and I know you really can't see it because of the bubbles. It's telling me it's right at 1.5. Now, I'm not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing, so please let me know in the comments below. But being an Irish Red, that's where it's at right now. Now it says, let's see here, add yeast. If it's dry yeast, which it is, I have to rehydrate it. Or, in the manufacturing term, reconstitute it. So I'm going to cut the yeast open now, because this is the yeast. I put it in. Now it says hydrate, which means, like the late, great Justin Wilson said, stir. Which I am, and you can see here, I'm stirring. Make sure it's nice and mixed, and it's hydrated. I so need to put my aerator out. I know it's in storage, but I just can't. I didn't feel like going down there today. And there's stuff I need to pull out of there for this particular application, and I just didn't do it. Now, the less things, let's see here. Let's see, manufacturer check, starting hydrometer full, airlock full of half of water and attach the primary firmer lid. Now, what I'm going to do is I got to find the airlock. And I saw that airlock. Now, where did it go? Lush fans, I've been a bloody mess all day long. And a lot because I'm scared to death because, obviously, I've never done this before. It says fill it halfway. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to fill this bad boy halfway. And there's a reason I'm using the water I used earlier, because I'm not totally sure which one to use, because it never called for which one to use. So that's why I elected to use this water source. Now, what I'm going to do is I find the lid again. Now there's a secondary lid I got to put on. We're going to do that right now. I'm going to stick this in temporarily, so bear with me. Now make sure that it's on nice and snug. Excuse me. I put the airlock on, like so, and I just flippin' broke it. Good job, Lush. So what I got to do is I got to go in and fish this out, and I was not trying to do that. Lovely. So this is one of those ones to where bloopers happen, you know. There it is. Now that was quick. I found that pretty freaking fast. So bloopers do happen, Lush fans. And something like this was not supposed to happen at all. And Lush fans, you know that. I know that. We all know that. So it's, man. Back on. So we're going to So it's back on. I'm going to put the airlock back on. Up. And this is dropped again, Lush fans. Man, I'm a bloody mess. This is ridiculous. Ow. This should never, ever, ever happen. So we got a little bit of a problem now. I can't find it. There it is. Now it's not seating at all. And this was not supposed to happen. And Lush fans, to be honest with you, I've had exactly 0 alcohol today because I've been so worried. I want this done right the first time, you know? So it's back on. It's nice and seated. So, we're going to try this again. And there you have it. It's nice. It's sealed. Now, here's what I'm going to do. Now, this is Sunday night. Now, the instruction says, let's see here, fermentation will commence within 24 to 72 hours, which I already knew because it takes the yeast a little bit of time. Now, it says, when air duct stops bubbling, which bubbles 1 time per minute, check specific gravity. If doing 1-stage fermentation, go to step 10. Now, the recommended step is siphon beer off yeast sediment into a 5-gallon glass jug. Do not splash. Allow beer to sit in carboy, until usually clear 5 to 7 days. Add finishing agent if needed, if not included in this kit. Okay, now here's the deal. What I'm going to do is the day is Sunday and it's Sunday night. My next off day is Friday. So what I'm going to do is Friday afternoon, we're going to do a new video with that updated, and we're going to go from there. Well, Lush fans, that is it. This is my very, very, very first homebrew. Thanks for watching. And be careful, remember, fear the rue, but always tune for the next edition of Lance Lush.